Culture, arts and literature festivals like this is the valve to India. Now, wherever I go, somebody comes up and says, thank you for writing this. It's been so brave. I wouldn't have shared my experience because I think people will think I'm mad, or the God particle. And that neutron exists whether in our bodily form or outside or as part of dark matter or across space. Hi, I'm here at the Kerala Literature Festival, KLF, by DC Books. I'm Sanjoy Roy and delighted to be here.
Hello, Mr. Roy. You are the synonym for Jaipur Literature Festival. So, how you feel to be here at Kerala Literature Festival?
It's delightful to see so many people of different kinds here. When we started the festival at the Jaipur Literature Festival, we knew that we couldn't necessarily address every language and the needs and aspiration of India's reading public. So for us, the success has been that so many people have been inspired by the success of the Jaipur Literature Festival to set up their own platforms. What Ravi DC and Govind has been able to achieve with KLF, the Kerala Literature Festival, is outstanding. Here on the banks of this particular Arabian Sea, sitting out here, looking out at the sea of humanity is, I think, exceptional. And it comes home how important language is. Everything here, whether it's your books or the ideas, it is in Malayalam. And the idea of India really came about how do you bring all of these different identities and languages that form India into one entity which we think of now as India. So it's absolutely vital that places like the Kerala Literature Festival continue to be vibrant, continue to be a place for free speech, for expressions, for idea, language and identity and food and culture.
And what you said right now, because different languages, different culture, different types of food, and a combination of all these factors make India what it is India. So, taking in the political scenario, it has a larger meaning for this kind of literature festival and for this kind of a meeting place where all languages are meet. What do you think about that, sir, as a representation of India?
A pressure cooker has a valve. If the valve didn't open and let the steam out, the pressure cooker will explode. Culture, arts and literature festivals like this is the valve to India. It's vital. And those who want to keep the valve suppressed, they must also understand by not allowing the steam to be let out, that pressure cooker, which is India, can explode. The vitality of any platform, cultural, tradition, or any other, is what makes India, India. It's a place where our diversity, where our divergent views, and our collective consciousness comes together, celebrating ideas, celebrating creativity is the only way to be able to build for the future a creative economy without which you won't have an innovation economy. So you can't separate science, the arts, liberal creativity from the idea of economics. What KLF does here, or what the Jaipur Literature Festival or the Kolkata Literature Meet or any festival does in India or anywhere in the world, also creates jobs. It creates input into local GDP. It builds the possibility of local economy through tourism, through upskilling, and the ability to grow the space for people from all over.
Sir, and now tell me about your book also, new book also.
There's a Ghost in My Room is my first book, which is a memoir. So when I was approached to write about anything I wanted to, many publishers kept coming to me during COVID. I was like, I'm a reader. I love reading. I read 5 or 6 or 7 books at a time because it's also part of my job. But also because I've always loved reading as a kid and even now. And I was like, I'm not writing, but I have nothing to write about, and nobody's interested in what I'm going to say, so forget it. And then my agent, Himali Sodhi and Ranjana, they came together and said, no, no, you must write about something. So I said, okay, then I'll write my memoir, but I'll write it about the experiences that I and our family, my wife, our kids, have had with the supernatural. So every chapter is about a supernatural experience that I have lived through and our family has experienced. And it's also a travel log because it takes you all the way from Edinburgh to Jerusalem to Khajuraho to the mountains to, you know, across the Indian subcontinent where one has experienced these things as much as it's about food and friendship. The Malayalam edition of it, I can't remember the name in Malayalam, but that releases today. And I hope people will not just pick it up and read it, but write back to me with their experiences. Now, wherever I go, somebody comes up and says, you know, thank you for writing this. It's been so brave. I wouldn't have shared my experience because I think people will think I'm mad. But thank you for sharing it. And this is what's happened with me. So I look forward to bringing out the next anthology of real life experiences by other people.
So it's a real great combination. You connect arts with social responsibility, economic possibility, and on the other side, you are writing about supernatural elements that you have felt. This combination is really great, sir. Does this combination, a distinct combination, give you the creativity or to continue your legacy of having this festivals and all?
You know, I've always been a skeptic. I'm not necessarily a believer. So whenever these incidents have happened to me, so one has had to suspend belief because it's happened to you. But what I've always lived by is my instinct. And today we are learning more and more through the CERN Research Center in Switzerland that instinct also is mapped into science. And the way that we see time, the way that we see space and spatiality, all of this is connected as it is with the neutron that is the fundamental basis of our being, you know, or the God particle. And that neutron exists whether in our bodily form or outside or as part of dark matter or across space. And that's what connects each of us to each other, to space, to universal energy, and to the world and the universe around.
Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you.